What it is, folks, this your homeboy First, back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on some. I want y'all to notice something there. I didn't just say sports show this time, okay? I said the realest, most entertaining show in the game, okay? Because this is gonna be a historic episode to put it on some, okay? Because as I revealed to the realest ones, also known as my channel members, on this episode 174, I will be expanding the show and truly making this show the one-stop shop for Black culture, okay? So some of the things I do in my what I used to do in my show, Bring It to the Square, where we would talk about some of the things from music and film and just wider culture. I'm gonna bring it here to put it on some of the things I do with my series on everything, where I talk about politics and all those kind of things. I'm bringing it here to put it on some. So again, make sure you watch all segments of Put It On Some, okay? Again, this will be a historic episode, all right? But y'all are here right now for me to talk about Jackson State versus Alabama State, okay? At YU Hill. And unfortunately, I cannot strike up the motherfucking band. No, I can't, y'all. Can't strike it up. But one thing I can do is pull up. Okay? Had to go get some crown for this one. Okay? Because see, there was a lot of OGs in the house. Okay? At homecoming. And see, I know they reporting it as 30,000 folks were up in there. First of all, that's cap. And that's miscounting. That somebody wasn't goddamn doing something right. Okay? Because I can eyeball 40,000 motherfuckers. I can eyeball 40, if not 45, up in that bitch. Okay? At least 40. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that count. I know I'm not off with my eyeballs, 10,000 motherfuckers. Okay? So it was a lot of OGs up in there. And I know the OGs were disappointed with us losing the homecoming game by a score of 24-19. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna go get some crown and pull up for the OG. I should have got the purple bag. Cause the OGs showed up. They didn't see that. The OGs don't even know nothing about this new shit. You want this salted caramel, okay? But at least I got some crown for the OGs, okay? So we gonna goddamn poll and we gonna talk. Okay, I am gonna do my job per usual. Okay, I'm gonna provide the realest rundown. You feel me? But goddamn it, I'm gonna poll, and we gonna goddamn talk about this. You feel me? So as I pull up, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, do that for me. Y'all can do that for me. You feel me? If I'm still gonna come to work after these folks that ran my blood pressure up like that, y'all can at least hit that subscribe button for me. Y'all can hit that share button and put me in all them group texts and Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff because I need your support. You feel me? A man that go this hard for y'all, I need your support. Now, I appreciate all y'all who've been supporting me and all of y'all who saw me at the game. You know what I'm talking about? You spoke to me and everything like that. I got a picture with some of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? I greatly appreciate you. You feel me? But we about to talk about that. Y'all see what I got down there in the banner? It just meant more to them. It did. It just meant more to them. What you talking about first? I'm gonna show you how. As we go through the realest rundown, you're gonna see how. Okay. It just meant more to them. But let's start with some evidence here. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do is present the evidence. Okay, and everything gonna be crystal clear. Let's start with this as exhibit A as to why it meant more to them. Can we flash back? Let's flash back to a time where a certain man by the name of Deion Sanders was our head coach, okay? And said man, Deion Sanders, and Alabama State's head coach, Eddie Robinson Jr., not to be confused with him being of the lineage of Grambling's legendary coach Eddie Robinson. Okay, no relation. Okay, but Eddie Robinson went viral last year when he declared that Deion Sanders ain't SWAC, and that Deion Sanders didn't need to be trying to bro hug him, and that Deion Sanders was being disrespectful before the game and during the week and everything like that, and that Deion Sanders wasn't about to come up in his stadium and disrespect him and his players and his school and try to bro hug him, just shake my hand and get the hell on because we ain't friends. And then he said, I hope he comes back next year. I pray he don't get a Power 5 job so we can play him next year in Jackson. And I pray they put us for their damn homecoming. Now look, they say that God answers prayers, okay? But they also say that y'all don't always get what you want. So those two different things. People say both things, right? So he didn't get one of the things. Prime ain't come back. Hell, around this time that the game went on, shit, it probably was some back channeling already going on with the white folks out there in Colorado, okay? So he didn't get that part. But he got the other part. He got to play in Jackson, which they were going to do that anyway, okay? You're going to alternate. But he got to play us for homecoming. And you know what? Shit, he got something else that at least he didn't pray for publicly. Now, he probably prayed for this privately, but he didn't pray for it publicly. And that was for them to get the dub. Okay. And the way his team played for him and the way they sat up there and gave him the Gatorade bath after the goddamn game and the way they were running on the field but prematurely and then, you know what I'm talking about, at the right time when the final gun finally went off, it just meant more to them. It did. And so you can argue, and I think that's what one of the real ones, shout out to that King, was saying to me as we conversed about it, shit, it might be that way to everybody we play. And as I was conversing with my OG, C. Lee McKinnon, shout out to my OG, a truly great man. Seemed like the South Carolina State game was the one that just meant something else, because like we were coming off of post-celebration bowl, everybody in the football world talking about our motherfucking ass like a dog. And in that game, we had something to prove. You feel me? But then when all these other teams play us, shit, they feel like they got something to prove. Like, y'all motherfuckers been getting all the shine these last few years and all this shit and woo, woo, woo. And y'all been getting out on us online. We want to get our lick back. It just meant more to them. But let's get into the realest rundown. Okay? And let's look at how this shit really played out. Okay? Yes, I did attend the game, but y'all know I told you I be working. You feel me? So I did my best trying to take notes. It's tougher when I go to the game to get my notes right, you know what I'm talking about? But I think I did a good job. But I be trying to interact and I don't get the luxury of, TV replays and all that kind of shit, okay? But let's do it. Y'all ready? Hold on, let me take a sip of this crown. Because if I got to relive this shit, I'm going to need it. Y'all OG know what I'm talking about. Let's get it, goddamn. All right, in the first quarter, Alabama State scored on a 25-yard field goal, okay? This drive was aided by a bomb off of play action. Now, it looked like they scored a touchdown on 3rd and goal, but the receiver had stepped out before receiving the ball, okay? So they had to settle for a field goal. So I would say That was the one brain fart that the defense had for real, all game. Okay, getting beat over the top like that. And it could have been for a score, but the quarterback kind of underthrew it. You know what I'm talking about? And the receiver had to stop, and we had an opportunity to tackle him. Okay, but getting beat over the top like that, that was really the only brain fart. We had some other instances where guys kind of did get behind us, but they didn't connect. But I'm talking about in terms of them having a successful over the top explosive play. This was really the only one. Okay, and we only relinquished 3 on that drive. Now here come the bullshit. All right, on our first drive, we fumbled. Okay, we fumbled. We went 5 wide, caught a short pass across the middle, got rocked. Okay, fumble. I was hoping that maybe it was a situation where we didn't really catch it. You know what I'm talking about? You know how they say you got to catch the ball, make a football move or whatever for it to be a fumble. But it was ruled a fumble, and that was the first instance of it just meaning more to them. Got to protect the football. Got to want it. Got to value that motherfucker. Got to value that motherfucker. Okay. And now, as I talk about all of this, okay, and bring up things of that nature, you know, some may say, well, they didn't score off of our turnovers. Okay. For instance, on the defensive possession, defense forced a punt after that. Okay. But it's not only if they score points off of our turnovers, it's the lack of opportunity we have to go goddamn score points. You see what I'm saying? Like that takes the scoring opportunity away from us when we turn the football over. Okay, so keep that in mind because it just meant more to them. But like I said, the defense did force a punt. We may have gotten away with a face mask on this one, but maybe the football gods were with us on that one. I needed the football gods at the end of the game, but I digress. Okay. When we got the ball, we were forced to punt on a 3 and out. Irv ran for 5 yards on first down, and then check out what happened. We passed twice after that. I don't know why. I keep telling y'all, give Mr. Mulligan the damn ball. Give it to him. Give Mr. Moultrie the damn ball. Give Mr. Miller the damn ball. See, all this goddamn talk about our quarterback room that was going on in the preseason. Shit. It's the running back room that's really like that. It's clearly the running back room that's like that. We got damn SWAC leader in rushing, at least coming into the game. You know what I'm talking about? You got Mr. Miller who's been running that bitch nicely. You got Mr. Moultrie running that bitch nicely. Run the goddamn ball. And play off of that. Simple. But I digress. On the next possession by Alabama State. They scored a touchdown on a touchdown pass. Okay. Again, we gave them great field position all damn night. Well, all day. Okay. And tackling wasn't always the best. Even on some of the drives that we end up getting off the field, sometimes the tackling wasn't always the best. Okay. And on this drive, that was the case. We missed a crucial tackle, which allowed them to score. Okay. And you contrast that with what happened during our possession. Okay. On our possession, on third down, we threw it behind the sticks, meaning when we caught the ball, we weren't already past the sticks. Okay. Well, we were going to have to try to get some yak yards, you know, I'm talking about catching it behind the sticks. Well, they got down wrapped up, got off the field. Contrast that with us, we didn't wrap up, and that allowed them to score. Okay, just meant more. We got the ball back. and we fumbled. So that's 2 lost fumbles. We in the first quarter. We sitting in the fucking first quarter now. Okay. And now again, this is one of those instances where I'm at the game live, and it's hard for me to just catch who the fuck doing what. You know, ain't like I got no assistant or nothing helping me take notes and shit like that. I think it was Mr. Mulligan who fumbled on this one. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Whatever the case was, I'm asking for the running backs to get that bitch, and there was a running back that fumbled in this instance. So we got a wide receiver that didn't fumble. We got a running back that didn't fumble. We ain't made it out the first quarter yet. All right. It did look like we were down, though. I will say that. It did look like we were down. Yeah, it was quick now. I mean, we ain't got no replay and shit like that. But they didn't review the shit. At least it didn't seem like unless the motherfucker doing the quick review. I know I've been watching Power 5 shit, and it seems like they got some quick review going on where they ain't got to stop the game. I'm hoping that happens. And that these motherfuckers ain't just goddamn get us like that now. Like ASU showing up, got up there and snapped that bitch with the quickness, and then the game was moving. Okay, but I don't know what y'all think about that one. Was that definitively a fumble? I don't know. Let me know. Okay. At any rate, they didn't score off that, as I said. They didn't score off the turnover. And on this, in this instance, Mr. Wiggins got a pick. Okay. And we needed that shit mightily, okay, to halt their momentum. Because they up 10-0 at this point. Okay, again, they got the 25-yard field goal and they got the touchdown pass. They up 10-0 at this point. We needed this. We still in the first quarter. All right. Unfortunately, we were forced to punt. We couldn't take advantage of their mistake. Okay. Second quarter comes around and we forced to punt. We had sound tackling on third down. Okay. Defense stood tall in this second quarter. Okay, they really did. All right. Unfortunately, though, we were forced to punt on our next drive. We were about to go for it on fourth down, but our wide receiver, again, I don't know who that was over there, but our wide receiver got a false start, and he goddamn was going full tilt. It wasn't like no flinch. Goddamn, he was running the play in that bitch, and the ball still sitting there unsnapped. Just meant more. We can't have that shit happen, y'all. You might say I'm nitpicking. I ain't fucking nitpicking. That's not what I'm doing. Okay, again, I used to be a coach on the high school level. When you have a major deficiency in an area, a major glaring deficiency in the area, you have to control all the other controllables. Okay, so a major deficiency that we have right now is the punting game. Okay, because that young king is still hurting. Based on what Coach TC said in the post-game presser, that young king is still hurting mightily, okay? And that showed up in his punting. So when you got an aspect of your team fucked up like that, you can't have shit like false start penalties when you're getting ready to go for it on four, or you can't be losing fumbles. You can't be doing these things, okay? Can't be doing these things. It can't mean more to them. Control the controllables. You feel me? As I said, though, defense stood tall in this quarter, and we forced a punt. Okay, defense was solid since that brain fart. Okay, in which they allowed that deep pass in the first. Okay, when we got the ball, we kicked a 40+ yard field goal. Okay, Mr. Watson, you've been a godsend, young man. Okay. I was hella impressed by this because for this young man, okay, to just be goddamn on campus. And now this is your first home game. Your first home game is homecoming. Okay. You in this sea of people, and Jackson State football is coming off of all the fuck shit that was said about the young queen who kicked for us in the previous home game. Okay, so a lot of spotlight is on this young man as a kicker. And he went out there and booted that bitch. Big nuts. Took big nuts. Okay. Offense was still sucking on this drive, though. To want to point that out. And the drive was hurt by a penalty. Okay, we had a hold on the play to 7. Good looking play, okay. But holding. Can't have it. Yeah, they got to mean more. Control the controllables. All right. On our next defensive possession, we got a pick. And once again, as I put in my notes, we needed that shit. Okay, we needed all these stops. Okay, and thankfully we finally converted into a touchdown. Okay, we had a touchdown run by Mr. Morgan, Kenttown, Jacoby and Morgan. Okay, we had great momentum that was stalled by one of their players getting hurt, but we still eventually got the crucial touchdown. That pause, that first. Why you look like that when you said getting hurt? Because all damn day, when it seemed like we finally started to matriculate the ball down the field, somehow, a player from Alabama State just goddamn hit the ground. Now look here now. I've told y'all how I feel about football. Hell, I think if I had to choose, now you remember, I'm a hooper now, okay? But as a grown-ass man, analyzing the sport of football and boxing, goddamn it, I'd rather be a boxer. Because in football, your whole body is on the damn line, okay? Your whole body on the line. Every goddamn thing might get hurt. As we see in this game, Mr. Mulligan got hurt. My boy, my dog got hurt, okay? And I hate to see some shit like that. I think a reporter said he came through on some crutches or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to him, and I wish him well and a speedy recovery, okay? But these boys wasn't doing that. These boys was going down, getting up, walking off the goddamn field, or some of them ran off the motherfucking field. This shit seems strategic, Coach Robinson. Seems strategic. And you know what? I can't blame. I can't blame, because if that shit was within the rules, and they letting you get away with that shit, you do what you got to do, especially when it means more. By any means necessary. That what Brother Malcolm said. He was talking about something much bigger than a football game, of course. But by any means necessary. That's the mindset Eddie Robinson had it been that bitch night today, excuse me. By any means necessary. Because you ain't telling me now that they strength and conditioning and nutrition and all that shit that damn bad that they having all them fucking cramps out here mid-season. I ain't gonna believe that shit. Okay. But it didn't stall us out this time. We still got the ball into the end zone. Okay. Also, though, another note, and I'm gonna sip drink on this. Please, for the love of God. Okay. I've asked on here before. Can somebody please get a word to the PA announcer? Okay. And please ask the brother, okay, to not get the crowd hype when we got the ball, okay? Okay. You might say you can do shit like, I know some schools say, first down, Jackson State. And the crowd, we can say something, and then boom, that's it. We need to shut the fuck up. Especially with the type of offense we run, where these motherfuckers ain't really huddling for real. And they got to try to get signals from the sideline. And it might be an instant where JB need to try to talk to motherfuckers while they all scattered. You got the line here and wide receivers way out here and all that kind of shit. We need to shut the fuck up. Okay? We don't need to play no hype song that's gonna have us singing even after you stop playing the song. We don't need none of that shit. We need to let them boys do their goddamn job, because obviously our offense needs some help. They need all the help they can get in doing their job. See, control the controllables. That's one thing. We need to be loud on defense. Okay? Loud with our chants and all that shit on defense. So like when they say, do that little sound they be making and shit like that. on defense, right before the third down. We need to be loud as fuck up in that bitch then, okay? But when we got the ball trying to score, let these motherfuckers do their work. So if the PA ain't gonna, follow suit, as fans, just know, hey, fuck that. I know what he just said. I know he just tried to get us hype and shit like that. We finna hush, okay? Maybe JB and them need to goddamn just, hey, do something like they do in the pro, like, shh, let us work, okay? Hopefully that message gets through. All right, let's move to halftime. Okay? We went into the half with a score 10-10, okay? And that brought Alabama State's band out first. And I gotta admit, that field show was dope, especially because they played one of my favorite songs, okay? Lay Your Head on My Pillow by Tony, okay? Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all young boys, y'all youngins out here, y'all don't know nothing about that because you were not there. You were not there. Go listen to that record. Now, don't go looking up this song and lay down with somebody and don't put no helmet on that running back now. Don't do that and then blame first for your ass getting somebody pregnant. I ain't saying that, but that's a dope ass record. What them boys say? Lay your head on my pillow. That shit dope. So I love that they goddamn played that, okay? I did not love that they called themselves dissing us doing their field show, but it's the SWAC, okay? And it's like that, okay? So I can take it. But them motherfuckers gonna say we ain't been the same since Deion left and that Jackson is not a state. Whoever the hell started this bullshit with Jackson is not a state as a diss, stop it. Please stop it. Somebody who teaches some kind of political science or government class or something over there or throughout the SWAC, please tell folks why you end up with state as a part of the name of your school, okay? Some don't have it, like the University of Mississippi doesn't have it, okay? That just comes to mind, okay? But when you are a school that receives state funds as a public university, quite often you end up with state attached to your school name, like Grambling State, Alcorn State, okay? It ain't got shit to do with being a state, okay? Like Alabama State or like Mississippi State has nothing to do with that. It's all about being a publicly funded institution, okay? So please, can we retire that diss? If y'all gonna come with some shit, come with some shit. And I've seen since we lost, y'all been coming with some shit, okay? And it's fair game for those that we lost to. Fair game, okay? But retire that one, please. Please do that. Okay, but I digress. Let's move on to the illustrious Sonic Boom of the South. Oh Lord, I wish I could have struck up the band for y'all today, but I just couldn't do it. Came down to one throw at the end, but ain't no more victories. Okay, I can't do it unless we win. Okay, but the field show was dope. They brought out the old school drum major and they did their thing, including our band director. Okay, they did a dope ass 1400 formation. Did a dope ass J.R. Lynch formation. Okay, one of the things I liked the best about halftime though was seeing the homecoming court and hearing their majors. And it's a real moment. Fuck the football. Let's talk about some real shit. Hearing their majors, that type of shit gives me hope. Because a lot of shit in the news pisses me off. I got a segment coming up later. Y'all gonna hear me talk about the fucking corruption going on in this state still with that damn Brett Favre welfare scandal and how they trying to cover up shit leading up to this election. Okay, I'm gonna do a segment about Israel and Palestine. So real shit I'm gonna be talking about. But when I heard those young people's majors be mentioned, okay. One I think was trying to do elementary ed. One is like in pre-med, all that kind of shit. I think somebody was a political science major. Like, this the kind of shit that gives me hope when I see those young people out there, those young black kids, young black men and women, I should say. And it lets me know that there is promise. Okay. So that's some real shit. Okay. That came from today. All right. And I wish them well, and all the students at Jackson State University and Alabama State University as well. I wish y'all well. Let's get back to the football though, okay? Third quarter came on in. And what happened? What happened? We fumbled. We fumbled after a promising drive. Okay? Score 10-10. We get down here, we can go up 17-10. Coming off of the momentum that we had in the second quarter. Okay? We can turn that bitch into a party in the vet. This is what we waiting on, right? We fumbled that bitch. We were in the red zone. Okay? We brought in Mr. Morgan to run his package. No, they run that package, inside the 5 to 10 and somewhere up in there they be bringing them. He handed it off on seemed like a jet sweep, if I'm not mistaken. Boom. All right, they scooped that motherfucker and they would have scored if Jacobian hadn't come and hawked the motherfucker down. So look at all, we didn't fumble that bitch and lost it in 3 different ways. We didn't fumble it all after catching a pass across the middle. We didn't fumble that bitch. About one of our running backs fumbled that bitch. And then we fumbled it doing one of these tricky dicky plays, goddamn it, jet sweeping shit. It just meant more. Gotta bag the football, man. Gotta bag the football. We can outgain them all goddamn day. That shit don't matter if you ain't putting them no points. And you can't put up no points without the football. See, when motherfuckers be talking about, when I watch the NFL, always be bringing up when they talking about the best defenses and best offenses, and they be talking about who gained the most yards. I don't give a fuck about that, or who allowed the fewest yards in terms of defense. I don't give a fuck about that. Who is giving up the fewest points? Who is scoring the most points? That's it for me, Jack. Wait, what you talking about, first? I'm saying that because y'all gonna see statistically, we beat the shit out of Alabama State in terms of yards gained and passing yards, total yards gained, passing yards, rushing yards, time of possession, all this shit. We won all that. We didn't win the scoreboard. In part because we did not value the football. In part because we took opportunities away from ourselves to score. Let's say we don't fumble this shit and we don't get in the end zone on this particular drive, okay? Let's say we settle for 3, okay? Let's say we settle for 3. Remember, we lost 24-19. So let's say we add that 3 points right there that we would have had on that drive, okay? And let's flip the score into 24-22 now. Now at the end of the game, okay, well, we trying to score a touchdown to win. We wouldn't need no goddamn touchdown. We would have just kicked the field goal and walked about that bitch. Everybody go to their part of choice, and somebody enjoying themselves getting twerked on right now. Instead, I'm sitting here talking to you, not being able to strike up the band and drinking Crown. That Crown good. That Crown is good. But I'd rather be drinking it in celebration. I'd rather have me some champagne for winning homecoming. You feel me? But it just meant more to them. Now, they didn't get points out of this turnover. Okay. Defense forced a 3 and out. And they inexplicably tried to run it on like a 3rd and 8. I'm surprised that their crowd wasn't letting them have it, okay? And they brought a few people. Okay, they definitely brought more than Bethune brought. Again, that's why I don't know what the fuck these folks talking about with 30,000 people. Okay, and I was sitting on the visitor side with my OG C. Lee. You know what I'm talking about? He sits there traditionally, living on the legacy of his pops. You feel me? That's where his pops always sat. Long live my OG's daddy. You know what I'm talking about? He seemed like a real revolutionary man. I wish I could have met him. You feel me? So shout out to the triple OG Mac Ennis. You feel me? But yeah, I was over there on the visitor side, and they ain't let them have it. Oh no, they were letting us have it throughout the game though. Especially the daddy of the white boy out there on defense for Alabama State. His daddy was lit the whole fucking game. God damn it, we made that white man happy today. Shit. I ain't seen a white man that happy since Trump won the damn 2016 election. And we did that. Our play did that. Because it just meant more to them. But I digress. All right. We got the ball back, and we got another 40-plus yard field goal. Okay. It was a good drive that got stalled by a play caller. A subpar quarterback play. Just gotta keep it 100. Gotta keep it 100. We can't keep doing this. We can't. Some got shake. Some got a goddamn shake. Okay. We'll talk about that a little later, though. Okay. But I was feeling good at this point because the young king booted another one. Okay. And I thought we were on the road to victory. So I had put in my notes, who twerking on the kicker at the party tonight? Because the young blood was coming through for us. Okay. But shout out to Mr. Watson. Okay. You did your thing, young king. All right. But that brought us to the fourth quarter. And we were up 13-10. Okay. Defense forced a punt. Good tackling on this drive. Okay, so I'm feeling nice about things at this point. Then we were forced to punt. We got behind the sticks on first, and we never recovered after that. Punt wasn't good, giving them good field position. Again, Coach TC says that the young king is still ailing. Him coming back, just giving us all he got. That is admirable. You feel me? That is admirable. Again, though, that's why I'm saying in all the other aspects of the game, all the other facets of the game, we had to be sound, and we weren't. Okay. And they took advantage of this good field position, and they scored on the touchdown run. 2-play drive. Okay. It didn't take long. They had a good pass to the outside with Big Yak. So you can say this might have been the second brain fart. They didn't hit us over the top like they did in the first quarter, okay? But they did get the ball to the young king in space, and he got a lot of yak yards out of that. And then after that, they just ran a zone read for the touchdown by the quarterback, okay? And that put them ahead, okay? Now on the next possession, our next possession, excuse me, we were forced to punt it. It was a horrible drive. Okay, we got sacked on 3rd and 5. Punt was bad. It just was bad vibes around this time. Okay, just terrible vibes around this time in the game. And they went and scored again. Okay, on a touchdown run. We needed to stand, didn't get it. It was very deflating. Their crowd on their side, we're getting hyped. Band, we're getting hyped. The players over there. Getting hyped and every goddamn thing like that. I think some people started to walk out. I think some of us, true blue faithful, decided they wanted to beat the traffic. Okay. But our boys did fight to the end, though. I give them that. Okay. But on that next drive, it wasn't pretty. We were forced to punt, and it was horrible play calling. We were starting to really devote ourselves to the run now. And we just coming off them scoring back-to-back touchdowns, shit. And now we want to goddamn get devoted to the run. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But then now we were bailed out by a roughing the punter call. Okay. So that the drive was shit until that happened, but that helped us out. And then after that, we went and got a touchdown run by Mr. Moultrie. And this was a wild fucking drive, okay? We got aided by 12 on the field penalty, which I think they had several of those. Definitely two of them, I know. Jacobian seemingly fumbled, but he was ruled down by contact. But we held on that play as well, and they end up enforcing the hold, which moved us back. But JB made a good pass, okay, solid pass, and then we ended up running it in. Then we went for two. Not the wrong call, okay. Not the wrong call. I can't even say that this was an instance of chasing points and no shit like that. But we didn't get it. And we needed it. What we ran can be questioned because it looked like we ran the same damn shovel pass that we ran at least twice against Bethune-Cookman. One was successful and one was unsuccessful, if I'm not mistaken. But in that moment, you gotta know that goddamn Alabama State didn't watch the tape and they know that shit coming. That might have been the time to hit them with a variation of it, you know, that they weren't prepared for. Hit them with an option off of that bitch that they weren't prepared for. Because they obviously were prepared for what we ran. They stopped us cold. Okay. Defense stepped up, however, and they forced the punt. Okay, I put them in a great job. It was exactly what we needed. So then it came down to this drive. Okay. Score was 24-19. Okay, instead of 24-21. So we gotta have a tub, gotta have a touchdown. Okay. And we moved the ball down the field. You know, we basically had like, I think 2 minutes to go 80 yards, which seemed like a daunting task given our struggles throughout the game, but we did start to move the ball down the field with some urgency, mainly off of check downs and a few quarterback runs. It did look like we lost another fumble, but the review gave it back to us, and that was JB on that. I think he ran for it on like 4th and 1 or something like that. But like I said, the review gave it back to us with like 3 seconds left. It was an incomplete pass in the end zone. And he threw that bitch from around, I don't know, anywhere between 20 and 25 yards, somewhere like that. So that failed 2-point conversion was huge. Because if we get that, we can just kick a field goal and we go into overtime. Hopefully, you know, we can execute enough to get up out of there with a dub. And also, that turnover, that fumble that we had early in the third quarter, that came back to bite us. Because if we get a touchdown on that drive or a field goal, we don't need this shit. Definitely if we get a touchdown. Okay. So yeah, they didn't score immediately off our turnovers. But losing those fumbles and not having an opportunity to score points on those drives, in my opinion, that's what really killed us. Now, I got a poll out there rolling. Okay, I got a poll going on Twitter right now. I got a poll on YouTube going right now. And I asked y'all, what was the biggest reason that Jackson State lost the game, basically, okay? As of right now, as I take, there have been 30 votes on Twitter, okay? 33% of y'all say fumbles. 30% of y'all say poor QB play. 37% of y'all say poor play calling. That's on Twitter. Okay. Let's go over here to YouTube and see what y'all talking about. Okay. Again, biggest reason for Jackson State's loss to Alabama State. Okay. That is the question. On YouTube, 33% of y'all say fumbles. 23% of y'all say poor QB play. And 43% of y'all say poor play calling. Okay. So it seems like Tiger Nation is not happy about the play calling in this game. And I think many of us would say we haven't been happy with it in many instances this year. Okay. I can feel y'all on that. Okay. But in this one, in particular, if I was voting in my own damn poll, I would say I would have to choose of those three. I would have to say fumbles as the number one culprit tonight. We lost by 5 points, y'all, with 3 lost fumbles. We lost by 5 damn points with 3 lost fumbles. You supposed to get your ass blown out in a situation like that. And we did get blown out. Okay. Had a chance to win it at the end. Just protect the fucking football. Hell, we have 2 lost fumbles instead of the 3. If you take away that one in the third and we get a touchdown out of that one, we win the game. Turnovers get you beat. Turnovers in football, turnovers in basketball, errors in baseball, and mistake pitches in baseball. That's the type of shit that gets you beat. Just does. That's number one. That's number one, though. Got to be. Got to be. Now, there's a lot of conversation. Yeah. About JB. A lot of conversation about JB. A lot of conversation about JB. Let me sip drink. We're going to talk about it. Keep telling y'all this the realest here. Okay. And shout out to the real one who conversed with me today. You feel me? We talked a lot, chopped it up. The king said we don't be keeping it real. He said we're not. A lot of podcasts don't be keeping it real when it comes to our analysis of the game. Okay, and I kept challenging the king to let me know who exactly he talking about. Okay, and he really didn't do that. But shout out to the king. You feel me? All I could do is speak for myself. I'm always keep it 100, and that's what I told the king. You feel me? And I'm gonna keep 100 here. Now I'm not gonna throw the young king JB under the bus and call him trash, nothing like that. I'm not gonna do that. These are still young men. These are still college students. You feel me? These are pros. That's different. You feel me? But I think it's safe to say that JB's play, other than the South Carolina State game, in some other moments throughout the year, hasn't been stellar. I think JB would even say that. Now, he didn't turn the ball over today. Talking about we had fumbles. He didn't throw a pick or anything like that. But I think when you look at the play calling, JB's play, and also the lack of separation on the part of our wide receivers, you can say that the passing game is not thriving, if not struggling. Okay, we can say that. And there's an old saying in football that the favorite quarterback is quite often the backup quarterback. Because there's always this mystique, there's this mystery about what the backup quarterback might be able to do. Now, there's still some questions on who is our backup quarterback. We see Jacoby Morgan has a package now, at least down there in the goal line area, he has a package. We see him more often in the last few weeks than Zy McDonald. You feel me? But this quarterback room was talked about. This quarterback room. We got this quarterback room, and oh, it's competitive when all this mystery about who's gonna get the job. So I say this again, former coach now. If the passing game is struggling like it is, or like we perceive it to be, okay, again, look at the stats. They want to be thorough now, goddammit. Let's be thorough. We outgained these motherfuckers in damn near everything, if not everything. Okay. Offensive yards, 410 to 234. And I'm reading this off of Reporter's Twitter account right now, David Edelstein. Okay. Offensive yards, 410 to 234. Jack State lead. Rushing yards, Jack State 172, Alabama State 143. Passing yards, Jackson State 238. 238. Alabama State 91. First downs, Jack State 29. Alabama State 11. Time of possession, Jackson State 35-08, Alabama State 24-52, including in the second half 21-09 for us to their 8-51. So we whooped their ass everywhere except for where you get the dub or the L, and that's the scoreboard. Okay, but still, I get it. Some are still questioning the QB play and the play call and all that kind of shit. But I look at it like this, y'all. Again, as a former coach, I say we ain't in practice. We ain't in practice. Okay. Let's talk about first. If we think, or if the notion is, if the idea is, if the opinion of the masses is that JB ain't it, the question then got to be, okay, then why TC ain't benched him then? Because obviously TC want to win. TC don't want to come out here and lose his goddamn homecoming. He went to Jack State University, and this is his first homecoming as head coach. This is the position he's been waiting on. He don't want to lose this fucking game. In the last home game, JB struggled so much, some folks even booed the young king. You feel me? So why he ain't benched him? One thing may be that in practice, TC and his coaching staff gets to see what the other young kings doing in practice. We don't get to see that. I don't get to see that. Okay. And maybe Zoe and Ken, y'all know I tell you all the time, them kings over there, they the face of Jack State sports media. You feel me? I cover all kind of shit. Okay. I'm in the entertainment business as a whole. Okay. So my focus is all over shit. You know what I'm talking about? They focus is solely on Jack State University. So maybe they've seen behind the scenes and seen practice. Okay. So I would love to hear the old King's opinion on that. But I'm just talking about as a former coach. Matter of fact, hold on now. We talking coaching. Let me goddamn put this whistle on. We talking coaching. Yeah, it still works. We talking coaching. It's a sip drink too. I didn't drink while on the job now. I did not drink while coaching. Somebody's child. I didn't do that. Well, I'm gonna drink right now. Okay. We ain't in practice, y'all. So it be some shit that go on in practice that the masses don't know about. What you talking about first? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. It's like I told the king I was talking to. Okay. I told the king about an instance when I was a head basketball coach. Okay. Head basketball coach. And a lot of motherfuckers were trying to question me because it was my first year as the head coach. Okay. We were a winning program. Hadn't won the big thing yet, but we were a winning program overall, coming off of a district championship. Okay. But I lost numerous starters. Okay. I think I had like one returning starter that year. All right. But I had a kid on my team who was like 6'6". Now, and he's been on here before, and we've talked about this in a little bit. Jeremy Harrell, shout out to my young king. Okay, now he went on to have a great high school career. He went on to be a college basketball player. I'm very proud of him. That basketball, goddamn, got him a degree. Okay, but I coached him his very first year as a basketball player, his sophomore year. He ain't played freshman year. Okay. And he wasn't ready yet. So when I had him on the bench, all these motherfuckers looking upside my head like, why is he not playing? But they weren't in my practice. They weren't in my practice. They didn't know the young man like I knew the young man. Okay. See, the thing about sports is, there's a lot of shit a motherfucker can do until them lights come on. Them lights come on, Jack. Shit hit different. I used to tell some of my players, playing ball, a great ball player is similar to a great stripper. First, what you talking about now, first? That damn crown must be talking. No, it ain't. I'm talking real shit to y'all right now. Here's what I mean by that. A great stripper use her body to make her money, don't it? A great ball player use their body to make their money. A great stripper does the same shit that your woman do for you when them lights are off in your bedroom, don't it? Y'all, some of y'all fellas out there know what I'm talking about. You got you a lady that she a lady in the streets. Okay, she might teach school. She a RN. She do all this kind of work and shit like that. She go to she teach Sunday school. Okay, she a usher at the church. She do all this shit. Get to that house, get in that bedroom, turn them lights down. You can't tell no difference between her and one of them girls on the pole at Magic City. But she do that for you. She wouldn't dare do that shit with them lights on. But see, a stripper can go out there with no shame in her game and full confidence and do what she would do with the lights off. She do that shit with the lights on. You understand? That's what a great ball player do. A great ball player, they don't give a fuck who in the crowd. They don't give a fuck about the lights in the moment. They're going to go out there and hoop. They're going to go out there and ball out on the field. They're going to do whatever the fuck they need to do. And see, my young king was not there yet. He wasn't there yet as a sophomore. He matured. As a junior, they ended up combining the schools, and I ended up leaving the district and going somewhere else and winning some championships as an assistant coach. But when they combined the schools, he matured some as a junior and then took a big step as a senior, went on to play college basketball. But see, motherfuckers wouldn't know that because they were not in practice. They weren't having those conversations with the kid. They weren't privy to the information that I had. They would just pull up at the game, pay their $5, $6, $7, $8, and come up in there and think they knew better than what the fuck I was doing. Same thing may be said about Jack State. May. I don't know because I'm not in practice. All I'm saying is, if coach won't pull him, if coach won't pull JB, it has to be that they believe that JB gives us the best chance to win. I'm hoping that's what it is. Now, the king I was talking to, he made a hell of a point. He said, maybe it's some deal that they done struck with JB that be transferred in. The job is his. I don't know. That's a good point. I've heard of shit like that just about being on social media and reading about this wild, wild west of transfer portal, that some of those promises are being made and shit like that to get guys in. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Y'all get a king that. That's a fair point. Okay. But I don't know. Some shit, like when it comes to play calling, some stuff you can say too that, you know, we might not understand. You know, these folks are football people and they study the game, they study film, they study tendencies and all that kind of shit. And, you know, of course, they supposed to know more about the game than us on the outside. But also when it comes to play calling, some shit just common sense. Like, hell, we running the ball well. Let's keep running that bitch. Okay. They crowding the box. Now it's time to pass it. Okay, we've run the ball pretty well several times. Let's hit them with a play. Some of this shit common sense, goddamn it. Okay, some of this shit ain't E equals MC squared or some shit. It ain't like that. Okay, we ain't doing engineering in this bitch's football. Some of that, but what I'm talking about when it comes to who playing and who not, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes on teams, even championship teams. I've been on championship teams at the high school level. There's a bunch of shit that be going on that we don't be knowing about. Okay. So who knows? Who knows? Okay. All I know is when it came to this game, I'm gonna have to chop this up first and foremost to us not protecting the football. And that's the name of the game. The game is called football. When you don't protect the damn ball, when you got a slogan written in the goddamn end zone that says guard the yard, and then you don't sit up there and cherish that damn rock. That's number one way you can guard the yard, by cherishing that motherfucking rock. The other way, where I say this is tied for the way, is by being stellar on defense and defending your goal line. You got to do those things. I would say, overall, the defense did enough of their part of guarding the yard. And the offense did not. They did not fucking protect the ball. They didn't. We got to do better. Got to do better. We still have yet, other than the South Carolina State game, I would say that's the only game we really put two of the three phases of the game together, let alone all three. Special teams been, even when everybody was healthy in the FAMU game, special teams sucked. Okay. But since then, you know, we've had injuries and shit like this. So special teams, we've been in a fucked up predicament. Very fucked up predicament. Okay. In this game, young King punter hurt. Fucked up predicament. Okay. That's why the other areas had to be on point. Irv getting hurt. Fucked up. Mr. Moultrie ran that bitch. Shout out to Mr. Moultrie. His numbers were very good. Okay. That young King came in, goddamn it, and gave us, okay, and I'm getting these stats offline, so if they wrong, charge it to them motherfuckers. Okay. They're telling me that Mr. Moultrie went for 10 carries, 65 yards. That's 6.5 a clip and a tug. Okay. I take that. Before Irv got hurt, 11 carries, 57 yards, 5.2 yards a clip. Running that bitch. We're a running team, y'all. Running team play defense, but usually when that is your formula, you got to have the special teams to go with it. So when we can't get that kicking game right in terms of punting, because again, our kicker came through, you know what I'm talking about? But in terms of punting, you can't be fumbling the fucking ball. So it has to mean something. It has to mean more to us than it does these other teams. And let me tell y'all why. We're gonna close like this, goddamn. We're gonna close like this. Jackson State University this year and for several years on. We gotta be in the prove it business. The prove it business. What you talking about first? That's what I'm talking about now. We've been fucking attacked. I don't know if there's been an HBCU attacked more than us. Why? Because we are now a part of the story of one of the most famed and one of the most popular athletes in American history, Deion Sanders. And because he has taken shots at us and allowed his friends in big media to take shots at us, it's just been like piling on. I know it. I get attacked. I don't read this shit. Okay. Again, I only read the comments of the channel members, the realest ones, you feel me? But in some of these other instances, some fuck boy and came over there on Instagram and inboxed me about some shit, talking about my way of thinking is holding black people back. And I'm like, motherfucker, have you lost your mind? You know who you talking to? Do you know who I am and what I do for our people? And you up here saying this to me about some Deion Sanders. Okay, that's the kind of shit I deal with. So I can only imagine what these assholes been saying in the comment section, not only to me, but to Ken and Zoe and to every other Jackson State podcast there is, or every pro Jackson State account. We've been fucking attacked. So we should be in the prove-it business. Because part of the attack be that motherfucker is the only person that made us relevant. Even though we know goddamn well our attendance been high, we've been outdrawing group of 5 schools. I just saw Texas State, who we had lost to, ranting and raving on their social media account about 27,000 folks. Now, a bad count today gave us 30,000. A bad count. So on a bad day, which actually was a good day, but on a bad day of counting at least, we outdrew this group of 5 schools on the FBS level. Okay? With no prime in sight and no goddamn Rick Ross or nobody on the damn sideline. We are the school of arguably the greatest football player ever in Walter Payton. Okay? We know these things. We know we got the 4 Hall of Famers, should be 5 if Jimmy Smith ass didn't play in Jacksonville, that damn market. You see, they don't give a fuck about that market. They sending their games to England, goddammit. We see that. Hell, they don't give Fred Taylor a shot in the damn Hall of Fame either, seem like. But we know these things. They don't, because they don't give a fuck. But we should be in the prove-it business, and therefore it should mean more to us every week. Because these motherfuckers still talking shit about us. I don't be doing those segments defending us and going hard and doing all this shit until they say something about us. And if you watch the show, you know I be having to do that quite often. Why? Because they keep talking shit about us. So, yeah, I know transfer portal and all that shit doesn't make motherfuckers feel as akin or locked in with their particular school and shit like that. You know, because you might stay a year, you know, all that kind of shit. That's where the coaching got to come in. And the coaches got to get their boys to buy in and feel that shit and make it personal. Eddie Robinson made that shit personal. Eddie Robinson said, your prime ain't there. But some of y'all motherfuckers in these stands, and we know 30,000. Y'all 45, 50,000, whatever it is, that's some of them stands. Some of you motherfuckers had on them who ain't SWAC shirts. Some of you motherfuckers were trolling me. Some of you motherfuckers in these stands were calling me a fake Eddie Robinson. Some of y'all did it too. He ain't lying. We got behind our former head coach. We ride. We riding for TC right now. Okay, we ride. Deion Sanders was our head coach. We roll with the motherfucker. You feel me? Now, I called him out when he was wrong, but in an instance like this, you know, when it was him versus Coach Minor and shit like that, we roll with him. When folks would make fun of his surgery and shit like that, we roll with him. Motherfuckers were praying for him. So, shit. Eddie Robinson was on some shit like, okay, he gone, but y'all got to get it. And still, we helped him. With that mindset and all that, we still helped him. Some of our deficiencies, you know, us hurting in the punting game, helped them. Us fumbling the ball, helped them. Our lack of creativity and deception in our offensive play calling, helped them. We did that shit. So we got to have a sense of urgency. We do. Because it got to mean more. Not just this year either. Got to mean more going forward. First of all, it's Jackson State University. This is a brand of HBCU football. This is a blue blood, HBCU program, a blue blood. Fuck what these motherfuckers in big sports media talking about. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They know Grambling under Eddie Robinson. That's all they know. They probably don't even know who the fuck WC Gordon is. They don't know. That's why some of them, y'all remember, they thought this Eddie Robinson was that Eddie Robinson's son. They don't fucking know. They don't know, but we know. We're a blue blood program. So we gotta fucking act like it. We gotta act like it. That's first and foremost. But then secondly, prove it. Show that motherfucker that went out there to Colorado didn't make us nor break us. And with a performance like we had today, yeah, even though that son bitch coming off of embarrassing performance, I'm talking about that. With Stanford coming back on them boys, that was some wild shit. Okay. The big sports media, I got out a poll about that too. What y'all think big sports media gonna do in reaction to that? They gonna make excuses or give real analysis? If I was voting in my own poll, I would say they probably gonna make excuses for them. But if I ask the same question about Jackson State University, ain't nobody gonna make no excuse for us. As I saw once somebody say online, they say, y'all are back to mediocrity since he left. Now, of course, that's bullshit, but that's going to be the talk. So we got to make sure we're taking it personally. Because it has to mean more to us. Put it on something.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.